What is up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out the new keyboard instrument from Rhodes. With that said, let's dive into it. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm very excited. As you can tell, we're wearing the merch. Rhodes have just put out a new keyboard instrument. It's their new Wurlitzer instrument, and I'm very excited to show it off. I was a big fan of the V8 Pro, so I'm curious to see how this holds up. Gonna dive into some of the controls. I've got the keyboard here. We're gonna play some sounds, and yeah, not too much to it. Let's just start straight away from hearing how it sounds. Let's check it out. Okay, so from the get-go, sound pretty solid, no complaints here. I'd like to dive through some presets. I should mention on the velocity curve, I've pulled this back a bit just to, help with the response. I'm a big advocate on the way a keyboard instrument can feel. Every MIDI keyboard is going to be different. Some are going to be weighted, some are going to be, waterfall actions, very light. So I think setting up a good bed to at least enhance your playing is already a good starting position. So I've just pulled this velocity back because it felt a little bit harsh. Yeah, let's check out some of the other features. So starting us off, I'm going to check the effects, because if you can see on the meter here, the Wurlitzer is actually a mono instrument, so we get no stereo goodness, right? So the effects are what we use to get a little bit of stereo going on. So let's start with the classic, a little bit of chorus, and see how that sounds. Woo! A little bit wobbly, so let's pull that back. Slow it down a bit. Wow, digging that. Let's check out the phaser. Woo! Sounds really good. I'm going to actually push that up a bit. That sounds great. I'm loving that phaser. A little bit of delay. Woo, that's nice. Let's chuck some delay. Oh, and the delay goes with some reverb, should I say, but the delay goes into the reverb. Very exciting. Everything goes into the reverb, so I'm going to turn off that delay. We can leave that off, and let's hear what the reverb sounds like. Pull that wet dry back a bit. So we got spring, plate, room, nice and tight, and hole. A little bit brighter. I really like the plate and the room. Even the hole is quite nice, actually. Let's start with the hole. And you can hear that sustain pedal as well. Nice. Woo! Yeah, reverb sound killer. Woo! Now, I've gone through all the stereo effects, but we're missing out a very important effect, which is actually available on the Wurlitzer, which is the tremolo, or the vibrato in this case. So let's get that on, see how it sounds. It's a bit slow, I'm not gonna lie. The normal vibrato is a bit more like a whomp, 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 whomp. Something about there. Actually, this would be very curious. I've never actually known what the vibrato rate of an actual Wurlitzer is. So let's look this up. Okay, so this guy's saying about 5.35. So let's get on there and we go vibrato rate 5.3, well, something close, 5.38. And that sounds about right to me, so let's hear it. Okay, so we've heard the vibrato, we've heard the effects. There's a bit of drive, a bit of EQ, we'll get into that. But one thing we've left out, I'm going to save the EQ and the drive for last, but one thing we've left out are these two speaker and mic emulation section to make it sound like we're actually coming out of an amplifier and that it's mic'd up. Really cool, I really like that option. To me, a Wurlitzer really sounds like a Wurlitzer when it's coming out of an amplifier. So, let's hear what that sounds like. This is the dry signal, just as a reminder. Let's get the amp. Ooh. Straight away, and then we have more of like a Fender style amp. Woo. Very nice. I want to try that Wurli amp, was actually really lovely. I mean, it's got a lot more low end for a start. I'm actually wondering, it says Wurli, if these are actually the speakers in the Wurli. Not too sure, but let's play with the speakers. Let's play with the mic. We've got two options, I believe. Dynamic or cardioid. Fantastic. Let's see how they sound. Okay, all right. So, sounding really good overall. I want to try that preamp and EQ because those are kind of the last things on the front. We do obviously have some presets, which they've included. Very nice of them. We can also save some presets if we want to add to the category. We also have some additional little menus if you want to do any of these. That's all there. Fantastic. Ooh, and a little sneaky menu up here. We've got global tune and timbre shift. Now, I actually really liked the timbre shift on the V8 Pro. So, saying that, something tells me I'm probably gonna like this. Let's hear it. Woo. Oh. Oh my God. Jesus. It's a good thing we got the mech noise, because that sustain was a little bit hot. But I can tuck it back nice and quiet. We can play out the nice 4-3-2 if anyone wants to figure that out. But lovely stuff. I'm just going to default those. Actually, the mech noise can stay down. I'll default those. Really lovely. Let's hear finally the preamp and the EQ. Now we're about to wrap it up and we'll finish off with some playing. So let's check them out. Whoa. That drive is raw because I've actually got it cranked on full. Maybe let's try halfway. Drive is sounding wicked. I want to try the CQ out. Let's pull the drive back ever so slightly more. Play with a little bit of the EQ. I've had the vibrato going this whole time, so I'm just going to pull that off. Don't really need it. Full fat sound. Let's hear what this EQ is going to do. I mean, overall, really liking the sound. There isn't really too much more to go into. We've gone through all the controls. I think it's really nice. As a Wurli sound, I think it holds up against the keyscapes and stuff like that. I think, especially with the case of keyscape, it's got a lot of sounds that are really full fat, and you might play this in comparison and be like, but the keyscape ones has better low end or whatever it may be. But in the context of a live setting or a mix, you're probably going to be scooping out a lot of that fun part of the sound anyway. So saying that, I feel like this maybe gives you a more realistic version of what a Wurli actually sounds like. Sounds really clean. I like the response of it. No notes really. I mean, we can probably end by checking out some of these presets. They've got a good mix of everything. And that will be the video for today, guys. If you enjoyed, let us know in the comment section below. Do you think there is a better Wurli plugin than this? Are you stuck with your own thing? I'd love to know, so let us know in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. The support really helps. And thank you to anyone who's already done so. So appreciate that. Once again, I've been Chris Vella, and I'll see you on the next one.